let's talk about the debt ceiling. And I'm sorry, I know I've talked about this before, but based on the amount of misinformation being fed to the public by Republican politicians and right-wing media, I think we should go over it again. Raising the debt ceiling is a confusing term because it sounds like you want to spend more money when we're actually just talking about paying for things we've already spent money on. But the confusion around the idea is what's allowed Republicans to get away with talking about the budget and democratic spending and borrowing from China as if we can somehow help the country's debt by not raising the debt ceiling. No, that's not it. The Republicans are also acting as if the entire country's debt is somehow Biden's fault when 97% of it was there before Biden ever took office. This crisis is around paying the bills that are due, not some future budget that is yet to be passed. The last Congress already agreed to this spending. What we owe now isn't a surprise, nor is it negotiable. The question is, are we a dine and dash kind of country, or a country that people can rely on to pay their bills? And whichever one we decide will deeply affect both our economy and our standing in the world. The Republicans understand this, but they know that most of the public doesn't. So they're taking advantage of our lack of knowledge to blackmail the Democrats to get a bunch of things they want at the expense of the American people. Raising the debt ceiling is not a budget negotiation. It's a tabulation and action to make good on what we owe. We've raised the debt ceiling 78 times since the 60s, 49 times under Republican presidents and 29 times under Democratic presidents. So don't let Kevin McCarthy spin it like the Republicans are the fiscally responsible party just looking out for spending. This is the same group of people who raised the debt ceiling 3 times under Trump with absolutely no problem. The only difference now is that a Democrat is president. In fact, despite the fact that both parties could afford to rein in the spending, we only find ourselves in these kind of crises where we're threatening to default on our loans when a Democrat is president and the Republicans are trying to shake them down. The last debt ceiling crisis was in Biden's first year of office. Before that, it was Obama's first term, and the time before that was during the Clinton presidency. The Republicans know the Democrats will do almost anything to not tank the American economy, and the Democrats know that the Republicans will shoot the hostage. Quite frankly, I have no idea why the Democratic Congress didn't just get rid of the debt ceiling when they had the chance. We're one of the only countries in the world that has one, and it clearly causes us endless problems. It's not like it stops us from overspending or making poor decisions with money. It just allows bad faith actors to use the faith of the American credit as the bargaining chip. If we don't raise the debt ceiling and pay our bills, America will run out of money and will default on our loans. That tanks our credit standing in the world and causes our markets to plummet. Millions of people will lose their jobs. You think inflation is bad now? Look out. The world markets, which rise and fall on America's, will be in a tailspin. The entire thing would be an absolute economic catastrophe and completely self-inflicted. Think of it like this. You go to a restaurant, you order the French toast, you eat the French toast, you enjoy the French toast, and then when the bill comes, you say, I don't think I'll pay for the French toast. It's too expensive. Yeah, I saw the prices when I ordered, and I did eat it, but I think we should discuss the type of bread used and what kind of syrup you're spending your money on. You know, while we're at it, how much is the rent for this place? Dude, that's not how this works. I'm not saying those aren't conversations worth having. How much you're comfortable paying? What should be on the menu if you can afford it? But that's a new conversation. That's a next time conversation. That's something you discuss before you've eaten. All that's on the table now is the check. Pay it.